Chapter 2. Reminiscence of Old Days. Lilla dipped her quill into the ink, her hand steady as she began to write. A reminiscence of old days. She had read the truth of Arcadia's fall too many times. She had whispered the names of the lost, seen the fire reflected in her mind every time she closed her eyes. The weight of it was unbearable. And so she chose to write of the Arcadia before, the Arcadia worth remembering. She took a breath and let her heart drift back, beyond the ruin, beyond the god's judgment, to the days of creation. The birth of Arcadia as gifted by the goddess of evolution in the wake of the bestial wars, when the world still bore the scars of war, when the land was torn and the skies darkened with the remnants of chaos, there was one who looked upon the ruin and saw not an end, but a beginning. The goddess of evolution stood at the heart of devastation, where shattered civilizations had once thrived before the beasts had torn them asunder. She did not weep for the past, nor did she curse the ruin. Instead, she placed her hands upon the broken earth and spoke, "What was lost shall be built again. But not as it was, no city of stagnant stone, no empire bound by its own weight. No, the world must move forward, and so too must those who dwell within it." And from her will, Arcadia was born. Not a city tied to one place, but a city forged in motion, built to stride across the world like a titan of iron and magic. The Titan heart core pulsed to life, drawing from the raw force of change itself, an ever-turning engine of creation. Towers rose, streets wove themselves into shifting pathways, and great wheels beneath the city rumbled with the promise of progress. She did not create Arcadia for kings or gods. She created it for those who would not be still, for the restless, the seekers, the dreamers, for those who would take the lessons of ruin and shape them into something greater. And so the first people came, survivors of the bestial wars, scholars of lost knowledge, wanderers seeking purpose. They took up tools, hammers ringing against metal, weaving magic into their craft. They built not just a city, but a home, one that would never stop moving, never stop growing. Arcadia was more than stone and steel. It was an idea that the world does not belong to those who stand still, but to those who evolve. Lilla set her quill down and let out a slow breath. Yes, this was how she wished to remember it. Not in fire and ruin, not in the echoes of God's fear and judgment, but in the days before, when Arcadia was alive, when it had been a dream worth fighting for. And perhaps, if she wrote enough, if she remembered well enough, she could let go of the anger that still burned deep inside her. Perhaps.